Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Assalamu alaikum, my very good viewers. This is the second part of my narrative concerning literacy, and it is in connection with the International Literacy Day, which was commemorated on the 8th of September. And the title of the narrative is, as I had said in my first part 1 segment, and it's called Literacy is All That Matters Most. Literacy is all that matters most. Now, in our part 2 narrative, it is about literacy in Pakistan. For decades, most countries have been measuring literacy through yes or no. Self-reported answers to a single question in a survey or census along the lines of can you read and write. These estimates provide a basic perspective on literacy skills. Article 25A of the Constitution of Pakistan obligates the state to provide free and compulsory quality education to children of the age group 5 to 16 years. But we are far behind the target, unfortunately. The literacy rate is defined by the percentage of the population of a given age group that can read and write. The adult literacy rate corresponds to ages between 15 and above. The youth literacy rate to ages 15 to 25 and the elderly to ages 65 and above. Pakistan, unfortunately, regrettably, belongs to those nations who have the world's worst literacy rate, or the lowest literacy rate. One of the lowest, that is, which is the main reason for its slow agricultural growth and sluggish economy. We have ignored education, which is the most vital element for the success and development of any nation. This has resulted in one of the lowest literacy rates in the world for Pakistan, ranking 113 in a total of 120 countries. Very unfortunate. Very, very, how would I say, I feel grievous, shameful. This is a huge issue for our country and its economic development. Without attention and improvement to the education sector, we in Pakistan are destined to face even greater problems. The literacy rate for Pakistan in a 2012 consensus was 56%, which includes both males and females from both rural and urban areas. A 56% literacy rate is very low. This means that almost half of the country is illiterate, can contribute very little to economic development because the major contribution in that area is made through education, and it's not there. Despite a very low average literacy rate, however, there are exceptional cases where the rate is pretty high. For example, Lahore, Islamabad, and Karachi. In these cities, the literacy rate is almost 75%. Bravo, great. Far above those in tribal areas, where the literacy rate can be as low as 9%. Oh God, as low as 9%, particularly because females keep away from the schools. Regrettable. We cannot be proud of it. We cannot be. According to the Pakistan Social and Living Standards Measurement, PSLM, a district level survey of 2019-2020, the literacy rate of population 10 years and above is stagnant at 60%. At 60% in 2019-2020 since 2014-2015. So 2019-2020 at 60% since the time of 2014-2015. The literacy rate is higher in urban areas, that is 74%, than in rural areas, which is 52%. Province-wise analysis suggests that Punjab has the highest literacy rate with 64%, followed by Sindh at 58%. Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, excluding merged areas, at 55%, and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, including merged areas, at 53%, and Balochistan at 46%. That's pretty low. So, having said that, I would like to draw your attention for the current time, the present time. Currently, Pakistan has a low 58% literacy rate, far lower compared to Sri Lanka and Maldives, which has 90% literacy rate. India at 74%, Nepal at 65%, and even Bangladesh at 62%, 4% higher than Pakistan. Female illiteracy is lower than that of men because of the overarching patriarchal culture and challenging conditions for females. The literacy rate ranges from 82% in Islamabad to 23% in adjacent districts. Very wide, big difference, very big difference. There must be very good reasons, very, very solid reasons. In tribal areas, female literacy is 9.5%, while Azad Kashmir has a literacy rate of 74%. That's great. Very good, Kashmir. As estimated, Pakistan produces about 445,000 university graduates and 10,000 computer science graduates per year. Yet, Pakistan still has low literacy rate and the second largest out-of-school population of almost 23 million children after Nigeria. We have out-of-school population children of almost 23 million children. And this is just after Nigeria. Nigeria is just following us. The contribution made by education is a key factor in the development of a national economy and the growth of a country. Thus, it is the responsibility of the state as well as our society to ensure that the children are educated so that the literacy rate is raised and ultimately improves the country's image and status. Despite education being a provincial subject under the 18th Constitutional Amendment of 2010, federal government continues to oversee and rule many matters, including curriculum development, accreditation and financing of research and development, causing, here's the catch, causing controversies and friction. 18th Amendment, center, the provinces. So, education is being controlled by both the center and the provinces, despite the 18th Amendment. The kinds of literacy we need to inculcate for reasons of empathy cover the kinds of literacy they cover: basic literacy, media literacy, cultural literacy, scientific literacy, information literacy, and critical literacy. So these are the elements, these are the kinds where you can learn or teach your children accordingly. Plus, the literacy skills that we need to encourage and follow cover print motivation, print awareness, letter knowledge, how to write a letter, and vocabulary, how to use a dictionary, how to pick up new words, new phrases, and so on. Narrative skills, how to describe. Narrative, like I'm describing to you, is a narrative. And phonological awareness, sound-based sounds, how the words, letters, etc. will be pronounced, and that is based on sound. That is phonological awareness. And other skills we got to involve is how to use read maps, advertisements, newspapers, recipes, manuals, and websites, computer, internet, websites. We have to analyze and interpret vast amount of media information. We have to learn to write poems, songs, reports, blogs, and emails. Their literacy opens the door to our world. Literacy then opens the door to your world, to our world. Importantly, since reading skills are built on 5 separate components like phonics, phonemic awareness, vocabulary, fluency, and comprehension, the ability to read can allow a person to unlock a world of possibilities, especially empowerment. Empowerment is very important, both for men and women. Literacy improves economic, psychological, social, and physical well-being. Improved literacy can contribute to economic growth, reduce poverty, reduce crime. Yeah, that's another important. Literacy, because of the growth of your mind, growth of your faculties, you learn to be more specific. You learn to not to commit crime. So it reduces crime. And most importantly, promote democracy. Very important in our country, a parliamentary democracy. So literacy will lead the people, the readers, the writers, to learn about democracy in the process as they grow up and educate themselves. Literacy also increases civic engagement, prevent HIV diseases, chronic diseases, horrible diseases like HIV, AIDS. People have to be aware of that. And other diseases through information provision. Enhance cultural diversity through literacy programs in minority languages. Lead to lower birth rates as a result of rational control of population growth, which, mind you, in Pakistan is explosive. Population is growing very, very fast. It's almost like an explosion. We've got to arrest it. We've got to find ways, and we have to literate and educate it with the right kind of mindset to stop it, to arrest the population growth, the explosive population growth. A single national curriculum, SNC, in Pakistan has been designed with the vision of one system of education for all, in terms of curriculum, medium of instruction, and a common platform of assessment. So that all children have a fair and equal opportunity to receive high quality education. But, regrettably, SNC, which is planned to be implemented in phases, seems to have been hastily introduced, leaving pitfalls and questions, making SNC controversial and not fully implementable. It's not easy, it's difficult. There can be many controversies. It's already happening. So maybe we have to go slow and go back and try and evolve something new. Here, we ought to remember the special reasons why literacy is so important to all of us, the civil society, the whole nation. That is, it causes brain to stay healthy. Literacy causes brain to stay healthy. Community participation for its betterment. Improvement of ability to communicate effectively, employment opportunities, and above all, individual empowerment. Personal dignity, self-esteem, personal dignity and self-esteem, which together is called knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. Altogether, that what literacy begins to give you. And as you proceed, you get the best of knowledge, which becomes your power. Now, in the conclusion, my dear good viewers, ladies and gentlemen, particularly the younger generation, I would like to highlight saying literacy builds self-esteem. I just spoke about it a moment ago. Literacy builds self-esteem and overall quality of life. Overall quality of life. If nothing else, literacy builds, as I said, the self-respect. Readers who struggle are more likely to have difficulty expressing themselves, even verbally. This can lead to anxiety, depression, or other issues that impact an overall quality of life. So, we have a question to you, to us. Can literacy change our world in Pakistan? Sure, the ability to read allows a person to unlock a world of possibilities. Literacy improves economic, psychological, social, and physical well-being. Empowering people to teach themselves to read changes lives and will do so in our beloved country, and we got to do 100% soonest possible. Literacy 100% for the entire population in our country, soon as possible. Let's do it, let's try it, and let's work hard. There are some problems which appear to be so big and overwhelming, they seem almost impossible to solve. But stopping the cycle of illiteracy is one challenge that can be solved. One child and one adult at a time. On that note, my good viewers, let us all, civil society and the state, all political parties, especially the opposition, vow to work together to lift ourselves 100% into literacy and into an educated nation that can ensure progress and prosperity. This is your host Salahuddin Chaudhry, wishing you all viewers and listeners a very happy and prosperous future that surely can come about from the national policy of friendship to all, malice to none. Let us make our national policy friendship to all, malice to none. And that can be our heart and soul in the context of development and prosperity. Goodbye and God bless you all. This is what I end my narrative of part 2 on Pakistan, having done part 1 yesterday in Sal Soul segment. But before doing so, again, I wish to share some pictures with you shown earlier. No, that I will show in my coming segment. The pictures are not ready yet, so my apologies. This is what I end my narrative of part 2 on Pakistan, having done part 1 yesterday in Sal Soul segment. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Khuda Hafiz.